All right, so we got some hay here from our friend Mike over in Whitney Point. He's hooking us up with some great hay for another year, which is awesome. Freddie's just putting them away. This was once all hay, now it's empty, so we can fix this up and hopefully make it look a little bit better. We got the hydraulics in the skid steer for some reason not working with that bale hugger, so we're gonna just use the tractor today to spear these suckers up. But every day it's something works, and then all of a sudden something doesn't work. So it's kind of they say that's what farming is. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Kind of like some Americans out there these days. But anyway, you can see that beautiful hay right there. Looks really nice. And then this was some junk hay that we got. We're not going to use this, but you can just see it's all weedy and gross and wet. And we put this in front of our cows and they smelled it, and then that's about all they did. They smelled it and then they walked away. So anyway, that's what we got. We're trying to walk away from this wind so I can talk to everybody today. But you can see this field here. This is our winter pasture. It's very muddy. We're hoping that it dries out. We had the vet here today. We had a couple cows that we thought may have some parasites from the mud, which is pretty normal this time of year. So we have them separated out and we're taking care of them. And they'll be good to go in a couple days. They get a little bit of a spot treatment here for a few days, and then they'll be on their way. And you can see that field over there is greening up. You can see that field greening up. So this is a really, really tough time of year for us because we got to make room for these fields to grow. And if we don't, then we'll be short on ground. Come May, June, July. You can see that field out there in the distance, how green that is. That's a hay field that somebody just hays up. No animals go on it, so it'll never look like that. So this is a used field that's just been pounded all, well, I shouldn't say all winter, but once the ground started to lose its freeze, we moved the cows here because we had Greg Judy here last year, and he was telling us, like, look, you got a lot of junk grass there. Use the cows to pound it up, beat it up, and stimulate that seed bed, and let's see what grows out of it. So we're hoping something good grows out of it, and if it doesn't, we're gonna seed it and see what we can get to grow there. But this is naturally a little bit more wet on this side. And I'll say this, when you guys are looking to buy some land and buy some ground, like what we found here, which was great, was there were beautiful ponds put in, which is awesome. That saved quite a bit of money. But this ground here, junk ground, not very good. We have, you can't really see it, but you can maybe see the tips of those trees out there. There is a conservation area there that's a little bit bigger than we thought it would be, and we can't really use it. So look for conservation and make sure that you can use it and do what you want to do on that property, or else you're going to have some limitations, and you're not going to be happy about those limitations, because they're going to limit you. So we have a couple easements here, like conservation easements, where we work with Fish and Wildlife, and they say, hey, you can do this, but you can't do that. You can go and have the cows here, but you can't have them there. So it's a little bit discouraging, but at the end of the day, what we found is they're good people, and they're willing to work with you. They get what you're trying to do, and they're not looking to squeeze you too bad. They just want you to be aware of what's on your land, and you should be taking care of that appropriately, which is okay. We'll take that. It could be a lot worse. And I remember when we first got a letter, we're like, oh my gosh, they're gonna put us out of business. What's wrong with these people? What do they want? But they were actually very nice, and actually everybody that we've worked with has been very nice. When we had Fish and Wildlife here, when we had environmental here, when we had the USDA here, you know, all good people, hardworking people, you know, trying to make a living, and most importantly, you know, trying to make sure that things are done right and done well, because most people don't do things. I shouldn't say most. Some people don't do things right or well. So you know, they hold you to a standard, right? When you work with some of these organizations, they make sure that you are doing things the right way. But like I said, just make sure your land is built for the use case, or is set up for the use case that you want to use it for. Again, you can see how muddy this is here. It's a rough time of year. And we'll go see these guys that were sort of sectioning off so that they can get some weight back on them and get some shape back on them and some tone. You know, again, the winter beat them up. Parasites are active right now, and we're just gonna get this group right. That's all we can do. This is Lauren's pet bull. This is Patrick, or as Freddie likes to call him, Patricio. And he has lost a lot of condition. He's older, so he's, again, just kind of a pet on our farm right now. But we put some Corid in the water and get that at Tractor Supply. We did give him an injection of ivermectin, and he's gonna come back to life. So we're gonna take good care of old Patrick here. He's our boy. And again, you can kind of see just the tone that he's lost and just not really doing what we want. So we've jumped on it, and we're gonna get him right. So the other thing is, you know, we're spending time with these animals every day, you know, so you start to notice things, behavior changes, you know, like he was a little bit loose out the back. So we've been watching it, and, you know, you can always look at their tails and see what's going on. And he was a guy that had a little bit of action on his tail, so we brought him in and started to take care of him appropriately. So we're gonna leave these guys here overnight, and then I'm probably gonna have to cross them, which I really don't want to do because I don't want to chew up ground. But we have our pasture from last year that we used for the winter that we're gonna put them on for a couple days. Hopefully the other field that they were on over there dries out, and we can go from there. We got a big old pile right there, probably tons and tons and tons of things that we have to spread on the fields to get these fields going. So we're hoping that our friend Sean, if you're listening, I'm waiting for you to buy that spreader so you can come on over here and help us out and spread that for us. So that's what we got. And I say Sean because he does a great job helping us manage the land here. And you know, it's a lot of land requirement. You can see that little patch in the distance. I'm going to try to zoom in for you. We had to dig that out with a trencher. Jim Leonard helped us to do that and just start getting the water to move again. Water was pooling over there. So again, these are all things you have to think about as you're managing your farm and your land, and it just takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of things here that get me chapped, you know, when I look at it. But you know, you can't do everything, right? As much as we want to do everything quick, and now, you know, there's labor limitations. There's definitely weather limitations. That's why this place looks like hell in a handbasket right now. We had a bunch of snow on the ground, and then all of a sudden it all melts out. And when it melts, obviously, this is what you get as a byproduct of melting snow. So we're feeding these pigs here, and you can see this monster. She's an escapee. So we got a bunch of finished pigs that are ready to go. On a side note, we're going to be sending 6 in this week. And I would say if anyone needs any finished pigs, reach out. We have some that we can share with you. So let us know. We got a bunch of people picking up piglets this week. It's amazing how many people have reached out looking for piglets. You know, they want piglets, they want piglets, they want piglets, whether it's for 4-H projects, project pigs, or just folks that are looking to raise some of their own pigs for meat. So you can see the herd we have over here, but anyway, it's always something. So it's very, I guess you can say it's very important work that we get to do, and the opportunity that we have to feed people, to work with other farmers. It's very rewarding in that way. But again, it is work, and everybody here works really, really hard. So from the team that packs the boxes, to the butchers, you know, to Freddie and the crew, and Lauren and I are mixed in the middle of all of it, trying to make sure that everybody's healthy and doing their best. So I know sometimes I catch some flack when I come on here because I share too much and I'm too open and I'm too honest. But I hope that there's people watching this that may want to start a farm someday or get involved with farming, and somebody speaks the truth to them as opposed to just some of these cinematic farms on YouTube that just show you how great it is and how beautiful it is. But whether you're in dairy, whether you're in beef, whether you're dealing with pigs, right? You're dealing with stuff, right? You're dealing with death, you're dealing with birth. You know, like we're out there watching piglets be born a couple weeks ago, Lauren and I up at night, and you know, they're shooting out of the mom, and we're wiping them down, right? So if you're not comfortable with that kind of stuff, birth, death, and injuries and everything in between, then you have to get comfortable or you have to not do this. It's one of the two, and you got to make that choice. But we have a lot of fun doing it, and some days we want to quit, like just quit and say, oh my gosh, let's go find something easier. And then we always say, well, if we found something easier, what would we do? We'd be bored out of our minds. So then we buy back in, and then we quit again, and then we buy back in, and we try to come back with better ideas and be more creative and do better, right? Just do better. And that's it, right? So I try to be open with this channel and honest with everybody, and you know, tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, the not so fun, and it's all good. I did hear an interesting stat, and I would have to agree with it. 𝐲𝐨𝐿 said something along the lines of most people that do a homestead are in and out within 5 years, and even more are in and out within 3. And I totally can see it, because for so many people it starts off as a dream, and then they realize it's every day. It doesn't stop. It's every day, right? You have plans, an animal goes down, well, there go your plans. You got somewhere to be at a certain time, and you know, an animal goes down, you're not just going to leave it. You know, if that animal needs help and is in distress, it's your job to help it. So you got to really think about this if it's something you want to do. I get people all the time that say, hey coach, I'd love to start a farm, you know, or my wife wants to do it, she wants to start it. I said, anytime she wants to come see the operation, let us know, and we'll show you, and you'll be able to make some good decisions after you put some labor in. But anyway, that's what I got for you today. So again, very rewarding. It's a good thing if you have the chops for it, and if you have the long-term desires. If you don't, that's okay too. Just find a farm like ours to visit, get your fill, and keep the line moving. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good life. We'll talk to you soon. If you need meat, I got a link down below. Get $25 or so off your first order. And what else? And our last video is pretty fun. Check it out. Lauren and I went to our good friend Charlie Aiello's. We went to Aiello's restaurant. We did a little collaboration with them, as they say. And check it out. All right, we'll see you soon. Have a good day, and stay strong. Make America healthy again. See ya.